Forget everything you think you know about Harriet Tubman. The woman they called Moses wasn't just about secret nighttime journeys north. In 1863, at age 41, she became a military mastermind, leading one of the most audacious raids of the Civil War. This is the story of the Combahee River Raid, where Tubman didn't just guide a few people to freedom, she liberated nearly 800 in a single fiery night. By 1862, the Civil War was raging, and Tubman was in Union-controlled Beaufort, South Carolina. She was officially a nurse and a teacher, but that was just her cover. In reality, she was building a sophisticated spy ring. Posing as a traveling peddler, she moved through enemy territory. Her dress is sewn with hidden pockets for carrying intel. She recruited a team of 8 Black Scouts, mostly local Gullah fishermen who knew every twist and turn of the coastal rivers. They mapped Confederate positions, supply depots, and most importantly, the locations of underwater mines or torpedoes designed to sink Union ships. Freedom seekers risked everything to bring her information. They'd whisper secrets about troop movements and weak points on the plantations in exchange for a chance at escape. Tubman took all this intel straight to Colonel James Montgomery, a fierce abolitionist commander in charge of the 2nd South Carolina Volunteers, an all-black regiment hungry for a fight. The plan was daring: use Union gunboats to sail deep into Confederate territory, destroy the rice plantations that funded the war, recruit new soldiers, and free every enslaved person they could find. On the evening of June 1, 1863, the mission launched. 3 armed steamships, the John Adams, the Harriet A. Weed, and the Sentinel, slipped out of Beaufort Harbor. Aboard were 300 soldiers, mostly from the 2nd South Carolina, with Harriet Tubman herself on the flagship. The John Adams, Colonel Montgomery commanded the troops, but Tubman commanded the mission. She was the first woman in American history to lead a major military operation. Using the maps her spies had created, she guided the gunboats up the winding, treacherous Combahee River, skillfully avoiding nearly 20 hidden Confederate torpedoes. As dawn broke on June 2nd, they arrived at the heart of South Carolina's Rice Empire. The plantations belonged to some of the wealthiest and most powerful men in the Confederacy, who fled in terror at the sound of the first cannon blast. The Union soldiers stormed ashore, setting fire to the mansions, mills, and barns, but Tubman's focus was on the people. As the plantations burned, she stood on the deck of the gunboat, rifle in hand, and shouted to the enslaved workers hiding in the fields and cabins, "Come on, my brothers, you are free." The word had been spread by her scouts days earlier, and now the moment had arrived. It was chaos. A human tidal wave of over 750 men, women, and children surged toward the river. They poured out of the fields, some swimming, others piling into small boats rowed by the soldiers. The scene was frantic, a desperate stampede for freedom. The gunboats, now packed with liberated people, turned back toward Beaufort, leaving millions of dollars of Confederate property smoldering in their wake. Tubman later said her only regret was that her favorite green dress was shredded to pieces by the crowd scrambling aboard. The aftermath was revolutionary. Back in the safety of Union-held Beaufort, the nearly 800 freed people started new lives. About 150 of the men immediately enlisted in the very regiment that had just liberated them, swelling its ranks for future raids. The raid was a massive psychological blow to the Confederacy. It proved that a black woman could outsmart their commanders, and that black soldiers could dismantle their empire from the inside out. Newspapers like Harper's Weekly celebrated the success, dubbing Tubman General Tubman. Yet, despite her incredible leadership, the Union Army refused to pay her for her military service for decades. Still, her legacy was cemented. Harriet Tubman wasn't just a conductor on the Underground Railroad. She was a spy, a strategist, and a warrior who led a military blitz that freed hundreds. She didn't just guide people out of bondage. She brought the war for freedom right to the slavers' front door and burned their world to the ground. That's a side of Harriet Tubman everyone should know. Thanks for watching, and if you learned something new, be sure to like and subscribe for more hidden histories.